everyone. Okay, so I'm back again, sooner than expected, but obviously given that my exams are the week after next, God knows how much time I'm gonna have on my hands. I know it's probably not going to be enough to do as much as I want to be able to do, but I have a massive summer after these exams are done, so hopefully I should be able to do a little bit more. I'm hoping to be able to put a little bit more time into the content as well, clearing out my phone storage, editing, maybe even a microphone if I find the money for it somewhere. We'll see about that. We will see about that. So I thought today I'd do another book video because I've really been on my reading grind, if you will. Been reading a lot. So I thought I'd start with what I'm reading currently and then just do what I've read in the last sort of few months. It's been, I think the last one of these videos I did was February, March time, so it's been a good couple of months. So what I'm reading at the moment is I have a couple of books to show you. Talking about this one in the last book. The last video. I wish I'd written a book. No, this is the last video. This is Rebecca Yaros's Fourth Wing. This one has gone kind of viral recently, and I'm about 60% of the way through this, and I did not expect to love it as much as I'm loving it. It's just pure, pure light-hearted. Like it's fun. It's fun. It's a good book. I know it has mixed reviews, and I know the rest of the series sort of has mixed reviews, but I think that is probably just because it's viral and people want to be a little bit I don't enjoy what everybody else enjoys sort of thing. People get like that. It's the funniest thing. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm gonna try. It's about a girl who, without giving too many spoilers, gets put into this military academy, but they learn to ride dragons, and it's really brutal because they're allowed to kill each other, and she sort of has to try and survive. And because she's the daughter of like a really high up general, there are some people that hate her and that want her dead, and it all ends up in this whole entanglement, to put it simply. But I'm really enjoying this. I talked about it in the last video a little bit more, but I'm on chapter 23 now. I really like it. I am probably going to read the rest of the series actually, because I don't know, I'm enjoying this. So the next one is a new one. I haven't read too much of it. In the last video I talked about a book that hadn't shown up yet, and this is that book. This is The Poetry Pharmacy. It had really good reviews, but I've never actually read a collection from multiple authors. All of the poetry collections I have are from like the same author, so I've got like a collection from Sylvia Plath or Amanda Gorman or whoever else. This is the first one that has multiple authors, and so far I've read a few of them and they're very good, but I haven't read many yet. It's a really beautiful book. It wasn't too expensive as well. For like the only thing with this one was you could only get a hardback, but I didn't realise it was a hardback because it was just like the regular book price. So when it came and it was hardback, I was quite pleasantly surprised to see that. So I've only read a couple of those so far because I only got it yesterday, so I've read a couple. But the books I read before that this is my mum's copy actually. I borrowed this from her. This is Paula Hawkins' The Girl on the Train. Now I enjoyed this book, definitely. Every once in a while I like a good mystery book. It's not something I'd like to read too often, but I liked the premise of this one, and I like sort of the entanglement of it all, but I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. More specifically how the ending is written, the whole villain monologue of it all, just, I don't know, it kind of took me out of it by the end, because like you're expecting this big reveal, but then what you actually get is this almost kind of cringy monologue from, I'm not going to spoil it, but from the person who's responsible, shall we say. You get this big monologue from, and it's just like, well, like, yeah, that's like a shocking discovery, but did we have to write it like that? The movie I have really mixed feelings on, because this is set in London, and the premise works really well with London, it works really well with Brits, but just watching them do the movie, with Americans and set in New York just didn't feel right. And weirdly, because the woman who plays Rachel is British and she does not hide her accent fully. That's a Brit right there. I know a fellow Brit when I see one. And it was just like, oh, what? But the movie was good. The movie was alright. It wasn't too bad, I'm just being nitpicky. But no, this was quite good. I don't really have too much to say about this one actually. I read it quite quickly actually, I read it in about a week. And the next book I read was Kristen Hanna's The Women. Now this is actually, I don't read too much like historical fiction per se, because most historical fiction is always about like most pre-20th century stuff, and I don't really have too much interest in that. And if it is post 20th century, it's always like the World Wars, which is just really overdone at this point. Like, there are so many real stories from that point in history that I just don't enjoy the fiction of it all. But I have never actually seen anyone really do, like, I don't know if you can hear my mum watching The Hunger Games downstairs. You probably won't be able to hear it. There's a lot of stuff that shows up that I can hear, and I feel like it's gonna show up on the camera, but it doesn't. They're singing the song about the tree. Strange Fruit, isn't that the name of the actual song? I think it is. I don't know. Anyways, but like a book about the Vietnam War from the perspective of a woman. Now why haven't we thought about that one yet? Because damn, that's a really good point. What about the women? Because they were done so dirty, and this book is absolutely devastating. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, I have to say. So the next books are, this video is gonna be so short, oh my god. Oh well, you know what, it's fine. I uploaded it already this week, so we can just do a short one this week. There's like not too much I have to say really about most of these. So the next one, if we're doing this in order, now this is also not my copy, and I didn't read this copy. I did this one and the next two through audiobooks because I find it easier, as with my dyslexia, to actually be able to read these books through audio format and actually understand what's going on, because obviously the language of the early 20th century isn't the easiest for a dyslexic to sort of digest. But look how cool this copy is. My mum has a collection of Penguin classics, and this is one of them. Fancy hardback. Absolutely gorgeous. She let me borrow so I could actually have something to tap on and as a frame of reference. It's got these cool little, like, almost lasers. It's War of the Worlds. Did I actually say it was War of the Worlds? I don't think I did. Yeah, so I've been meaning to read this one for ages. Finally got around to it. It was okay. I was kind of expecting a little bit more, to be honest. Everyone hypes up books like that, but it was like, at some points it like builds you up to something that just doesn't happen. Like, all the tension it builds just kind of goes nowhere. It's really good at building that tension, but it just doesn't take it anywhere. But it's still quite good. I'd still recommend it, and I just was expecting a little bit more. Now, in terms of expecting and not getting, this one does not apply. This is George Orwell's 1984, and again, I did this one through audiobook. It's got all the eyes. I, like, did not expect anything about this book. Like, I did not expect the whole thing with Julia. That took me by surprise. Like, you get into the first sort of part of it and you're like, oh yeah, you know, this is very dystopian, this is very sort of what you expect it to be, and then the plot just takes this complete veer off. And I was like, oh my god. And the whole time you sort of have this idea of where it's headed, but even when it does go in that direction, you still feel surprised. I'm trying to explain it without getting too much into it. And there is like a sheer genius behind sort of the world building, I'm gonna say. There is something about Orwell, of him being able to take current, for his time, obviously this is like 1943 I think, of him being able to take the like political, global, whatever situation and turn it into these elaborate books. It is just sheer genius of it all. It completely captivated me. It's a really, really good book. So we're down to the last one, and I have read this book twice in my life now, and I actually did read this physical copy. This is again Orwell, but this is Animal Farm. Now I read this book originally when I was 12. Yeah, I don't know why they made us read Animal Farm at the age of 12, because I had no idea what was going on. I was just like, oh, they killed the horse? Why did they kill the horse? That's sad. Obviously I still find it sad, but it makes sense to me now reading it at 17. But it is like, it's about 100 pages. How many pages is it? It's 120. But again, it's that sheer genius of being able to like create this metaphor for like the Russian Revolution and Stalin's career and the Second World War and then the Cold War, and to be able to do that under the contexts of animals in an 120 page book, and it somehow makes sense and it's somehow really a good read. Genius. Sheer genius, really. I was reading, or like listening should I say, to George Orwell's Homage to Catalonia, but I have not really continued with that. I will pick it up again at some point, but those are all the ones I'm reading / have read through physical copies, and then those are the audiobooks, and these aren't mine, so I'm gonna have to put them back after that video. But I am getting a well, hopefully getting, I don't actually know. No, I'm supposed to be getting a hardback copy of 1984 for my birthday, but I don't actually know it. The thing is, it was the edition I wanted was a second-hand one, so it's kind of hard sometimes to secure those second-hand ones because they can go really quickly. I bought a lot of books recently and I kind of think I need to slow down. But anyways, I don't even know if I'm going to post this, to be honest, because this is so short. But oh well. Well, I'm sorry for being so short, but hopefully, yeah. What I might do actually, if I have the storages, I might save this. That's what I'll do. You know what? I'm going to save this video for a later date. Okay, well, whenever I post this, I will see you then. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.